Jalen,
My throat is a little bloody.
because you weren't here, I'm going to start with you. Let me go give them a treat real quick. In the room with you is the mother and the daughter. Zephyr sleeping on a love seat. You're aside the window. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was just saying how you guys had me.
Yeah, my throat is really fucked at the moment from the smoke.
Yeah, smoke's doing a number on a lot of shit on the East Coast. Upper East Coast, I suppose I should say.
I'm sad Markiplier hasn't started a new series yet.
Damn it, cat sound effects. Alright, redeemed. Thank you, Merrick. Yes, Jalen. Morning. You hear some people downstairs in the inn. It's nice and sunny outside. There isn't a horrible looming death cloud over your head, but you can see it in the distance. It's just there.
So essentially, it's mimicking the real life situation right now.
Pretty much. Weird how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guess the Canadians are dealing with the rat plague. Horns, right?
Yep.
I got some tea that I put some like honey in for my throat.
What?
Actually, wait, no, not the horns. Put them over your shades.
That's Leon's code name in the Sunday game I'm in.
What's that, Queek? You want me to summon the rat? It's too early for the rat. Later.
Love how he's just looking at the camera like, soon.
He knows what's gonna happen.
Oh, stuff's breaking.
What's breaking? Nothing's breaking.
You can see that in the corner when it happens. It's not a big deal.
I'm only
Moving
half
on.
budget.
But once, if things look like they're all right, I guess Jayla will go outside actually to check up, see what one of the flyers was about.
All right. First, you make your way downstairs into the inn. You weren't really privy to the display last night that took place in the bar, but you make your way down. There's a handful of guards at a table drunk. It seems like there's a bunch of empty seats there. At the bar, there's an enormous fat lump of a man, probably about 8 feet tall, as wide as 2 beer kegs, in the process of sloshing back something. You just hear
August from League?
Might as well be. Except
God
doughier. Has a perpetual stupid look on his face. And a big number 1 written on his shirt.
What?
Yeah, that's the guy what won the drinking contest.
First place. Got it.
You make your way outside. Walking across the street to one of the places you saw the flyer being stuck up. You get a good look at it, and this one doesn't seem like it's sketchy writing. The flyer itself says that the Great Tower is now accepting religions. Come visit Avzar. I'm gonna say that you know where everyone was camping because Zephyr would have told you.
I mean, wasn't Zephyr in the room that I was watching?
Yes. Well, you're watching specifically over the mother and the daughter.
Oh, you made it sound like Zephyr was on the love seat or something like that.
I mean, Zephyr is upstairs.
Zephyr was actively participating in the last session. He knew where we were planning to go. You didn't.
Right. Then I'll head back and wake him up to just shake him awake a little bit.
Okay.
Shake,
Ah,
shake, shake.
I'm up.
I see that. Where are the others at?
They met another dragon folk last night, and they're camping just outside town with her.
Ah.
She didn't want to come to the inn for some reason.
Yeah, it's what it is. What it is. But I'm gonna. I got something to show everybody, and I figured I'd let you know too.
All right, I know where they're staying. We'll let's go find them.
Your family gonna be all right for a little bit.
I think so.
All right, lead the way then.
All right, I get my things, and we head out to where the others are camping.
You guys make your way out to the city. City just waking up, The merchants kind of walking around. There's actually a lot of carts that look like they're getting ready to head out of the town. Like big storage carts. Most of them seem to be heading toward the Kavzar.
Oh no.
You guys make it over to the camp. Lil, your watch was uneventful. Erda got no sleep. She crawled up. I believe she was in rat form again, and she sat on your boot all night. Like, I imagine you just cross-legged on a branch, and she's just sitting on your leg, cross-legged, facing back.
Something like that.
And the two Dragonborns are in the tent.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
I don't know if that's what happened.
It's not.
I know. I had to make a joke. Sorry.
That was kind
Oh
of
no, she was dropping a lot of hints last night.
Well, no, she never picked up what you were putting down. So I don't know, man.
I mean, I would say that you two are probably still awake in the tree. Tog, I want an emphasis roll. 220s furthest from 10.
Yeah. Any particular reason you do it as 220s? It seems like this is a better idea as just 120.
Well, it means you can either have a good outcome or a bad outcome. And it doesn't just guarantee it to one or the other.
Extremely middling, actually. 9. The other one is a 10.
All right. You wake up. You feel a warm, a heavy body pressing against your side. And you feel something wet on your arm.
She's drooling on me, isn't she?
Yes. There's like a
Whatever.
quarter gallon of drool just on the tent floor.
Quarter gallon? Jesus Christ.
Wow.
My word.
Man, she must be really dehydrated.
Yeah. Anyway,
Not soup.
am I drunk at all?
Constitution saving throw. Actually, I'm going to need everyone that drank to make a Constitution saving throw. Might as well just get them out of the way.
Oh, right. I did forget to open that.
And minus
Red.
Okay.
Character sheet. I got
18.
the 20.
13.
Buddy, are you okay?
No.
And if you notice, he's shaking a little bit. He's tapping his foot in alarm. Hang on. I'll make sure there's not a fire outside.
Are you sure that maybe reacting to the smoke?
Probably is. Either way, the
Okay,
animals
bro.
are acting up.
Just froze. They're not going to hurt you.
Oh.
There were birds sitting outside on the little roof next to the window.
Yeah.
So, Constitution saving throws, what were they?
I got 20.
13.
All right. Tog tipsy. Merrick drunk. Lil?
18.
I'm going to say tipsy, but only because you met the save.
Meh.
Yeah, it took a very long time for it to hit in, but it's finally hitting. Merrick, now that you're getting up and walking Jalen through the city, the actual movement of you getting up, you start to feel it immediately take effect on your equilibrium. Jalen, your friend just suddenly starts swinging left and right.
She's gonna keep him steady. It's like you guys must have had a wild time last night.
No, I barely drink anything.
Then you're a lightweight.
Yeah, you guys arrive in the camp. Lil and Erda take note from their treetop visage of your approach. And you guys start to hear some movement in the tent.
Well, yeah, like since we're all getting up, the first thing he would notice would be that she slept on him. Not that surprising. The amount of drool would be, but he's also kind of tipsy, so he probably wouldn't notice exactly how much of that there is. He would try to carefully move her off of him without waking her, and then I suppose just sort of stare off in a haze before realizing he should start preparing his spells.
That's fair. You shake her off. She doesn't even wake up. She just rolls over and just...
This rolls over.
The entire camp just hears that massive snore after a little bit of rustling.
Honk shoo.
You all awake in there?
Oh, wait a minute. You said something. Hang on. All right.
Meh.
As soon as she hears a new voice, she panics and attempts to run through the tent door.
I mean, I don't think I'd be together enough to stop her.
She runs to the tent door and into a tree.
Whap.
She collapses and then looks around.
She good?
She
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
she starts
Where?
to pull herself off the tree and collapses again. You hear snoring.
Wow.
Great fail.
Where's the glowy one? Well, the shiny one.
I'm in here. I'm honestly surprised she could even hear you. She was deep sleep.
Well, anyway, I found something that I wanted to share with you guys. Should we come in the tent, or are you gonna come out here?
Whatever.
She's gonna shrug and go in the tent to join the hawk. Then
You go into the tent, and the first thing you notice is that massive puddle of drool next to the hawk.
she's gonna look down at it, look up at him, look down at it again. This
Oh.
yours?
She drooled.
Oh, she did. Okay. Zephyr, get in here. And where's May?
In the tree.
Cue,
He points
me
up.
climbing down from on top, holding, our companion in my
Okay,
hands.
athletics check.
Okay.
-3.
Why would I need that if I just drop down from like 10 feet?
Because you're drunk. Tipsy.
No, I'm just gonna let myself land.
Okay. You take 2 points of fall damage.
Yeah, I'm kind of like slowly making my way over to the tent, like trying not to fall over.
You could have just used Jalen's help.
I actually figured that Jalen would have been like dragging you along with her, just letting you support yourself on her.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right.
I,
Yeah.
That's what I assumed anyway.
Yeah, you guys all make it into the tent. Gerda takes her normal form, looks at the puddle of drool, looks at the hawk.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Not his. Or so he says anyway. More importantly, though, she's gonna hold up the flyer. I saw one of our friends putting these up last night. It looks like
Yeah.
looks like they're trying to advertise and bring people to Kavzar.
What was the exact wording of it again?
See the great tower. Spread your religion. Or accepting your religion.
Thought their whole gimmick was working from the shadows. Why would they want to bring attention to themselves?
I don't think it's them bringing attention to themselves. It's them wanting people to migrate to the cities, more bodies, you know?
Yeah,
More cattle.
Oh,
yeah. This makes me really want to get your family out of here.
Yeah, you guys hear the tent reopen as Cassie comes over. It's like the it's like the letter I got. Pulls
You got a
similar one out of her pocket, just kind of drops it and passes
my-
back out.
You. When?
She tells you that the whole reason she started her journey is because these flyers started showing up in the villages. He hands it to you. It's a similar looking letter.
God damn, these rats get around fucking fast.
He pauses at that. Tries to remember exactly how far away their villages would be.
Like 200, 300 miles.
What?
Kavzar is the lost cause.
How
We
can
need
it?
to get.
How
We
can it?
need.
Are-
We need to get your family out of there. Which I suppose we have. Points at Zephyr when he says that.
Yeah.
Might want to get your husband, points at Erda, out sooner than expected, especially given the weird time shit. You, points to Cassie, are not going to that tower.
But we're shipping Tia. Also, this letter is from like 5 months ago. Wasn't the tower already done?
No. They didn't finish the tower until, given the time stuff going on, it was still probably at least a few days ago.
Wow, the town scouts really get around.
That's very worrying. But yeah, that as he said, that town's a lost cause.
Meh.
Then we'll have to build our own tower.
No.
if you try, you could try that all you want, but it's probably get taken over by by our by our rat friends.
She lays over in the tent door, head on the ground, looking up at the sky, just tongue.
The tower didn't help me get in touch with Tia. Praying out here last night was actually the easiest it's been since I entered that town.
Hey, where are the funny clouds going?
They're not going, they're coming from the tower.
She looks back at the clouds. No, they go.
He frowns at that and stands out of the tent to look at what she's looking at.
Yeah, they'll do the same thing.
You see the green clouds around Kavzar beginning to shrink away.
The fuck?
You said it was a rat that put up those flyers, yes?
That's what I. Yes. Out of character. At least that's what I was told.
Yes, it was a rat.
Yes, it was indeed a rat.
He takes a closer look at the flyer because you say it was written better, right?
Yes, there's a clear drawing of the tower. It's clear and precise in its writing. And there's like some tiny spots where you can see like they tried to double line like on capital letters, but honestly, that just kind of makes it look like a fancier writ letter.
Mm,
It even talks about how the guard captain's going to be there to unveil the tower, and there's going to be a festival.
Oh, goody. I have a feeling I know why the clouds are doing that. I think they're probably trying to make the place look more welcoming to people.
almost certainly.
I may be drunk, but even I can tell this is.
Bullshit.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Pat.
Well, excuse me. Well, the Skaven aren't.
Oh, do we actually know the names of them now?
You have
Yeah.
known. You guys just keep saying rat people.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's been a
Sorry.
thing for a couple sessions. Actually, when you guys first met Erda, she told you what they were called. Just kept calling them rat people.
Yeah.
My apologies. Then.
It's like
You're
forces
fine.
of habit are hard to break. Anyway.
Yeah. Now if I get you guys say Weirdstone.
The Skaven are underhanded and cowardly, but that does not mean they are stupid. I'm sure that's what's going on here.
At least it won't be a bad opportunity to grab stuff out of the city and run.
I kind of perk up at that, and
Well, it's assuming like if you went back and if there's this whole like time shenanigans, if anything that you would want to get is even still there. So we don't know fully how this works, I think.
We don't. But,
I've been contemplating it. Erda pipes up. The only thing I can't really think of that doesn't make sense for it is why they would want the time faster in the first place.
Maybe grow more of them faster?
You mentioned that the people in charge of the tower are not actually the Skavens. They are cultists trying to align with the Skaven, yes?
Nods.
As
Yes.
far as I can tell, the tower is behind all of this time stuff, and the cultists are behind the tower.
Hmm. Either way, we still got a day or two until the guard captain shows up and presumably the fish.
He nods. We
What?
did notice wagons on the way in destroyed.
I mean, I
It's
noticed.
entirely possible those were the wagons that were supposed to go get the fish.
I mean,
Regardless, we're not going back in there, at least not yet. Not with a Zephyr like that. Not with myself still feeling tipsy. We should probably take at least a day before going back in there.
Would you mind if I step away real quick?
Like
What are you going
IRL
to
or
do?
I'm just gonna see if I can't intercept one of the wagons, go to Kavzar, and see if I can't have them deliver a message for me.
if I can real quick, you're talking about speaking of the wagons. On the way here with Zephyr, it looks like people were already packing up to head to Kavzar.
Yeah, there's like a migration of a pilgrimage, people going to there, right?
mm-hmm.
I could see it from the trees. Or at
Not
least like the bridge leading towards Kavzar. I could see wagons moving.
Not surprising. I imagine a good chunk of the people that stopped here weren't here just for the beer contest and all that.
It'd be the most fun thing, though.
It's certainly why they stopped here as opposed to other places on their way to the tower.
Well, not that you guys should stick your heads deadlong into danger by either running back to Cavs or sitting here and doing nothing. You said you saw a rat?
Yes, it was last night.
We could attempt to abduct a single rat. Assuming it's still around.
I don't remember where you said that Jalen saw a duck into.
The sewer.
Well, if you want to try that, little bastard snuck into the sewers.
Regardless of what we should do, we should sober up, especially Zephyr.
Speaking of Zephyr, we should really secure safe passage for his family first as well.
What is so bad? Oh, Cassie just looks so backward over her head at you.
What is what?
Sober up.
Sober up. Get not drunk.
So I'm already leaving, by the way.
Yeah. She doesn't. Don't bother. Just don't bother.
Confused, but I'll take your word for it.
I imagine she doesn't even understand that she needs to sober up. To be fair, we just met her last night. She might be like this in the morning regardless.
Be really fun.
She just stares at you blankly.
Yeah, but getting my mom and sister uh, somewhere is getting them somewhere safe
Crucial.
is a bit higher on my priorities.
So, while he's saying that, 14 medicine roll, if I have any minus to that, add it on your own. On trying to assess if she's drunk or not.
She's just airheaded.
Do you know how far away we live?
He thinks about it for a second.
No. That was to the rest of the group. She roughly knows. I know.
Jalen's gonna shake her head.
Could I see. Or wait. What did you say she did with the note that she received?
He handed it to you.
Okay. What's the handwriting on it look like?
Very similar, a little more scratchy though.
So, better than the previous notes we'd been seeing?
Yes.
Okay. So, this note was sent a while ago, a very long while ago. Which means that for about as long as I've been in town, they've had at least some kind of influence. And while getting your family further from here should be our top priority, we live hundreds of miles away. And this note reached our podunk.
Yeah, I see where that's going.
It takes me a moment to process what that means since I'm drunk. Fuck.
What are you talking about? Cassie just kind of looks up.
Don't worry about it, Cassie.
Also, where is Sleep Around Girl going?
What did she just say?
Where is Sleep Around Girl? May said she's
I'm
leaving.
too far away to have even heard that.
My God, sleep around.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like I didn't pick up most of I heard the where is, but the rest of that
Oh, my bad.
got garbled. No, that's not your fault. That's probably Discord more than anything. Anyway, uh she has a name. We all do. Do you remember our names?
Totally not mine. I'm Jalen. Hello.
Let her answer.
She points at Zephyr and she says, Zappy.
He nods.
Looks at you. Aka.
I guess that's close enough.
Sleeps around girl.
She has a name. She gave you it. We call her May.
Gives a nod. Looks at Erda. Shrugs.
I don't remember if Erda introduced herself. That one's name is Erda.
Erda looks at you confused and looks at her. So what are you gonna do with it?
It has a name.
Oh my god.
What's it? She looks up
Cassie.
confused.
Her name is Cassie.
I was trying not to be rude.
It doesn't matter what level of rude you're trying to be. Calling somebody an it is definitely.
Oh yeah, let me can't speak with animals on it. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I
Hey,
didn't know if it was a lizard person or not.
Is it racist if I can't speak with animals on it?
It didn't know common.
I have to go
It's a
back.
lizard person.
I have to go back
It's
and
still
clip
a
that.
person, you dingus. Moving on.
My point from that was that she did it intentionally.
Mm.
That she was trying not to get her attention.
Mm.
It's okay because Cassie was oblivious to it anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Moving on. To answer your question, she's going to deliver her own message. To answer yours, he shrugs. I'm not letting her go into town and face whatever horrible fate's going to befall that place.
At the hearing of you having a message for her to carry, she rushes over to you wide-eyed and kneels at your feet and asks what Tia wishes sent.
Hmm. No, May is delivering May's own message.
She looks up sad and sits up straight.
Chuckles and pats her back. Tia appreciates you.
She remains quiet.
Tia say you do good.
Good.
Yes. Part of why she doesn't want you to go to the tower.
She hugs you.
He pats her back.
Upon head pat, she does the tongue blip.
Blip.
May,
Yes.
you're walking away. Where are you going?
I was going to be heading towards where like the main caravans are going to be going,
Yep.
like where they're setting up, stacking people, and then transporting across the river or whatever. Going
About
towards Kavzar.
about a
Right.
mile from where you guys are camping, there are a bunch of caravans getting ready to move out. They seem to be carrying bulk supply goods. You also see that weird human and dwarf from last night. You know, the fucking jacked one.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to look for like material, like transporter, like iron, copper, that kind of shit. The stuff that I would assume like a smithy would require in order to do their job, right?
You find a small part of not processed ore, but there's only this one, and it's very small. It seems like the majority of these carts are food.
Hmm. Very interesting.
I mean, a lot of religions have pasta dish and food for gods, so peace on earth and all that.
Okay. So like the one wagon that has raw materials, I'm gonna go over to them and ask if they've ever heard of uh Dwalin's smithing.
Well, no, I can't say I have. This dwarf with a very pointed nose looks at you. He kind of has like a happy, jolly demeanor to him, though.
No, I can't say I have. I'm sorry. That just
Thanks, but do you know anybody that would have any kind of dealings with armor smiths back at Kavzar?
Never really been to the city myself.
Okay, thank you for your time. Bye. I just walk and try to find someone that has any kind of like connection with him.
You're not gonna find any.
Probably not. It's worth it investigating though.
Roll an investigation.
17.
The more you go over this group looking for somebody, the more you can tell that these people are almost all out of towners. They don't really seem to be serious trade merchants. They're more like tourists. The handful of ones you do find seem to be from other regions, far enough away that they don't know the individual stores. This would probably be their first time visiting the city itself instead of just sending, a caravan.
Hmm.
How thoroughly are you saying you look?
Well, it's on my mind, so probably very.
Hmm. A couple minutes you walking around, this fair-looking human approaches you. I say, miss, you seem lost. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, I just need to send a message to somebody that's in Kavzar.
Oh, is that so?
Can I take a better look at this fair-looking individual?
You give him a good look over. He's got noblish attire, but it seems kind of worn out. Like it's been on years of travel.
Hmm.
But he speaks like a nobleman, holding his tone high, is delicate with wording. Well, I'd do anything to help out a fair lady.
Hmm. Do you know of Dwalin smithing back in Kavzar? Or
Can't say I do.
it's just a small time smithing like kiosk. in front of like the main building that they own, I guess. But I don't know. I need a message sent to them, if you wouldn't mind.
Gives you a nod. Me and my friend Gotrek are heading over there to see the Slayers Hall. Be happy to deliver a note, miss.
Wouldn't happen to have any kind of paper or a pen, would you?
Several. He reaches into his backpack. Inside there, you can see the normal stuff like rations as he sets it down and goes through it, but you also see several dozen journals.
Hmm.
He takes the page out of a newer one, and he hands you an inkwell and a sheet of paper. You can write, yes?
Yeah, I can write. I take the paper and quill and begin uh, writing on it.
As you start writing, he kind of circles you a little bit, commenting on a woman of your age having such fair skin.
I wrinkle my brow as I look at him and say, thanks. I appreciate that.
Toad's not creepy at all.
Neither was the dwarf
Red
that wanted to
flag.
pound the metal.
Red flags, what are those?
Yeah, at least with the one in the town, it wasn't being like explicitly creepy. This one is, yeah, it's nice skin you have.
Oh God.
As you're writing your note, his friend comes back over. You can feel him before you see him. Not like pressing against you, but hit the weight of his step.
I look over to this heavy-footed man or person.
The jacked dwarf.
I'm gonna kill you.
Ah,
Yeah, and the person she's talking to is a what again? Human elf?
Human. He stares at you with his nose wrinkled. Why are you talking to the pointy ear? She's like, just stop. I'm trying stuff. Whoosh.
I'm just going to turn my back towards him and then just keep writing in my note. Like more or less like trying to describe like a situation of like describing to him how like with like the recent crime rate in the city increasing with the finishing of the tower, that even with like the pilgrimage of people coming and like the new prospects of business coming to him, it would probably be far better to make or set up a shop outside of the city, catching people on their way to Kavsar, than it is to actually set up shop. And you would probably have a better like advantage of uh, making more deals to people that you know are trying to come to the city. Something along the lines of like promising like more advantage, like
More advantageous job offers.
yeah, outside of the city now that the tower's complete, and to catch pilgrims, on their way to the city, allowing you to charge like an upscale.
Hmm.
At which point I'll say that I would be more than obliged to sponsor his endeavor.
It's just, writing your letter. You can hear them kind of chit-chatting behind you a little bit. At first, it's in whispered tones coming from the man that offered to deliver your letter. And you just hear the dwarf very brazenly break through his whisper and be like, "You don't stick your dick in dark, elf man thing." You hear an active punch and some scuffling feet.
Oof.
I think I just look over my shoulder at the mention of that
You
and kind of
see
just
the nobleman brushing himself off as the large dwarf is kind of standing there with his 5 missing teeth grinning at him.
amusing. I think I finished the letter with what the Dwalin called me before. Like, what was it? It was something. I want to finish it with the cutes, like instead of sincerely, I wanted to end it with what he called me before like the transaction ended, and then just write my name on it.
I believe it was gorgeous hunk of woman.
from your gorgeous hunk of woman. Yeah, perfect. And then just sign it with my guild name.
So let me get this straight, man thing. We're delivering letters now. He kind of folds his arm. Well,
As he folds his arm, I fold the paper.
I was just
and
trying to be
hand-
nice.
I hand the folded paper to him and tell him that it is a very appreciative effort on your part. Rolling a history check, I'm going to try and describe to him where his kiosk would be.
You start describing it, and the human.
I didn't roll history.
You don't have to. We like.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, you guys keep trying to make knowledge rolls that you don't have to make.
I will ask for the knowledge roll if I think you need it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So,
Well,
you start describing where it is to him, and the human seems to be paying active attention, making note. The dwarf just kind of punches him again. The Dwaland raises a brow.
yeah, how do you know them?
Not that many dwarven families above ground in that city, girl thing.
Well, not many smiths in the city as of late either, honestly.
Most went to go be slayers. Gives you that ratty tooth smile.
Mm-hmm. Part of the adventuring guild, right? Or is it something else?
Never heard of the slayers?
No. I could roll history, right? Or
He looks angrily at his human. You're supposed to be spreading my stories, man thing. I haven't gotten to it yet.
could I roll a history now to see if I've ever heard of them?
Yes. This is an appropriate history roll. It's something outside your character's direct purview.
I rolled a 1.
Yay, you know, probably very little
Yeah,
if anything
you
at
were gonna
all.
ask and you got distracted by the at least 250 pound battle axe on the back of this dwarf that has several thousand intricate carvings and runes on it.
Right, that's right. You have a minus, so that 1 means you have a 0, isn't it? that score was a 0.
Let's get
Man.
going.
Don't you just hate it when your ADHD kicks in?
See, a girl thing. The human
I
just kind of
wave at him.
waves.
I smile at the human.
He
Yeah,
kind of
thank
gives
him.
you like a half-hearted, deflated smile. And as he's walking away, what'd I get myself into?
Mm.
You don't see it, but you swear the dwarf is just pulling him around on a leash. Getting back over, Jalen, What are you up to? You guys have started to have this conversation and seem to be working to get up.
Fantastic question, actually. I don't know. 'Cause given the Hawk makes a good point about the reach of the Skaven being pretty far, she still wants to try to get Zephyr's family as at least a farther distance away from Kavzar.
Yeah, no, like he said, the idea of us getting them as far away as possible is still a good one.
So she's probably gonna try to find like to secure transport for them. She's gonna look into anyone who's leaving to not go to Kavzar, whatever.
You would think that because of the opening of the city, like, what do you call it? Transport to any other place but Kavzar would be on a discount because people are trying to get to Kavzar, not away from it.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
and our goal is to like get them to like Tarantio, where Zephyr's grandmother is.
Yeah.
At least I thought that was still the idea.
If that's the case, then Jalen's gonna look into transport for them then.
Yeah, we never said we were changing where to put them. It was more just to put it in perspective of how far reaching the whole tower evidently rats are.
Yeah.
There is nowhere
Right.
safe.
There is nowhere completely safe. There are places that are safer. Because they're at least further from their focus.
All right. Does anyone else go with Jalen to look around for means of transport?
The other
From
two,
the timeline, I'm still preparing spells. It sounds like our conversation happened before I really even got to do that.
it sounds like he needs to do that, and Zephyr still needs to sober up.
Yep.
So it sounds like Jalen probably will be doing this alone.
Jalen boat?
Yes, Jalen boat.
I need boat. Cassie stands up.
Wait, what'd she say?
She's not from around here, Jalen. The only reason she came here was the tower. She now knows it's a bad idea to go to it.
I don't know. I didn't actually catch what she said. That
Oh.
was me asking like what she
She
actually said.
said
Sorry.
Jalen boat,
Yeah, I heard that.
and then she stood up.
She said she needs a boat.
She
Yeah,
only does like half speak.
Jalen need boat for Zeffy family.
Nod.
Hold on.
Erda just kind of pipes up and asks if she don't want to just let this one unfold too. It was pretty funny last night.
Wait, how?
He leaves the finger up, and the first spell he prepares is tongues. Casts it on Cassie.
What?
There.
Cassie, feeling the magic go over her, kind of looks at you. What'd you do?
Now people can actually understand you, and you can understand them, regardless of what they say. It lasts an hour. Hurry.
Nod.
All right. I need to try to find a boat to get Zeffy's family out of here
Nods.
and away from Kavzar.
She tells you that Doc showed her where the water was.
Okay.
She smiles proudly and she points in a vague direction.
How did you get here?
Bless her, she's trying.
She points at the calluses on the bottom of her feet. She also doesn't have shoes.
Wow. You came a long way.
45
I guess.
moons.
Huh?
45 moons.
Jesus. But yeah. What?
Well, hold on. She said 45 moons, but there are 2 moons. What? Like that doesn't actually mean the same if we don't know what the lunar cycle here
Day
is,
and night.
especially since there are 2.
It's day and night. She's counting nights.
Ah.
Okay.
Again, like tongues has been cast on her, so you should probably just talk normal for a while.
Fine. Not as fun. Yeah, she tells
you can talk you can keep talking the way Cassie's talking, but we understand perfectly what she's saying. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to translate it regardless.
Bunga bunga, hee baha.
Haha, pee pee. But yeah, Jalen's gonna. So at this point, Jalen is just gonna go back into town to try to find transport.
All right. She follows you into town. You guys make your way into, the southern end of the city where the docks are closer to, because there's no dock in town. I'm just going to tell you that as out of character information because it probably would have gone over yesterday if you were in the session. But yeah, so the docks are a little out of town to the south. So anyone making their way to the docks, which the boat to Toronto was the initial way to go there. I mean, you could go kart, but I figured the south side of the city would be the best place to start.
Yeah.
On the south side of the city, you find a handful of silk merchants. They all look pretty weary from travel, but a couple of them are in an open setting to sell things. You don't exactly see anybody saying, "Hey, I'm going X, Y, and Z," though.
No, but people may have like heard. It's if they've been here for, if they've been anywhere near like a. So this is at the docks, right? Or the outside.
Yeah. You're in the city. The docks are a little ways away, but they're on this side of the city. You'll more than likely find a merchant that had to take the boat on this side of the city.
Then she's just gonna go up to any one of them. It's like, "Hello, sorry to bother you." Whoever it is, I'm going to. Doesn't matter who.
I picked the female silk vendor.
Do you happen to know anybody who is traveling away, like away from Kevzar? I'm trying to find transport.
She gives you a nod. And Pretty Lady has a lot of silk. Cassie just in the back, hissing and draconic.
Thankfully, I can understand that.
The woman tells you that the next boat leaving the dock city is in a couple of days. It's heading to desert, no, I'm sorry, the capital, and then the desert drop off. There's also a transport heading north. It's on cart through the mountains.
And Zephyr's family lives in the desert, you said, right?
Yes.
Or is it grandmother? Okay. Perfect. Where's the capital? Don't tell me that's Kevzar.
No.
Okay.
The capital, let me open the map. Because honestly, I don't think about its name enough to remember it.
Fair. But she is going to ask who is going there.
She tells you that a boat is currently on its way to drop somebody off, and then it's doing a return trip.
Ah, the timing of that then. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who the group is waiting for to pop up. So they're not here yet. You said they'll be here in like a day or so, a couple days.
I think it's a day and a half.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for that information. I'm gonna put that to good use.
El Dente is the capital.
Did you say al dente?
Yes.
I didn't want to say anything, but all right. With that, Jalen's gonna as a show of thanks, she's gonna give her give her 10 gold just
Uh,
for giving us information.
She very quickly bows and asks, "What would you like?"
You know what? Some what would match? Oh, she'd get something for the hawk. I would say something that would match his colors.
Black and blue and gray all over.
I don't want to get bruised.
Sir. Sir, look at chat, sir.
God damn it. Left Huba. Okay. I'll do that. Yeah, she has a lot of vibrant colors of gold and red. There's a couple of like dark blacks.
Actually, you know what? She'll get some gold for she'll get what she can in gold for Dahak and red for Zephyr.
All right. She gives you 2 fine bundles of silk.
Thank you very much.
Cassie asks, when boat?
A day and a half. So we need to get Zephyr's family ready.
I would imagine they already are at this point.
Yeah, they've kind of been.
Yeah, we need to give them just yeah, you know what I mean. Never mind. Yeah. So after learning that, she'll head back to where the group were.
All right. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Zephyr, well, she's off collecting that information. What are you doing? How are you sobering up?
Mainly just sitting down and I guess drinking some water.
All right. You're just chilling in the tent next to Dahak, who's, focusing his spells, prepping for the day. Third is just kind of sitting there quietly, watching the two of you. You just feel her gaze as you sip.
Zephyr's having an oyster from Cowboy Bebop.
Well, since she didn't sleep, does she look tired?
Erda?
Yes. My character wasn't up there, so he wouldn't know. I'm just.
Despite everything that has been going on the last few days, you've never seen her sleep, and she does not look tired.
Hmm.
Her demeanor is very
tipsy,
calm.
so that wouldn't. I'm tipsy, so that definitely wouldn't occur to me now. I was just curious.
I mean, you're only tipsy. It doesn't mean you don't have any critical thinking.
Yeah, I know. It's also not something he would just inherently think of here. I thought of it because I knew she didn't sleep. Him not seeing her sleep isn't the same as him knowing she hasn't slept.
Fair.
He's gonna assume that she's been sleeping unless he's seen proof otherwise.
Bunga bunga.
like if she's fatigued or something, but that hasn't been mentioned either.
Nope. She seems completely healthy.
She's a witch.
Well, yeah, so it could be that.
Wow, almost like that's the accusation that was leveled against her.
I was still kidding.
You're a monster. You're bad. You should feel bad.
All right. I'm going to say, Dahak, you get your spells prepped.
Mm-hmm.
Zephyr, you enter more tipsy than drunk. Still going to take you a bit to get out of that, but I mean, you can't just sit there and drink water all day. Otherwise, you'll be 7 water skins in and just have a stomach ache.
Yeah.
I forget. Do I have to prepare my spells again?
No.
You don't. I do.
Yeah, certain casters like clerics need to. I think paladins do as well.
It's the trade-off. Generally, like divine casters don't learn spells. We just get spell slots and have access to everything. The trade-off there being we have to pick which spells to prepare, whereas any spell you know you can cast so long as you have the slot. In both cases, our slots refresh after
A rest.
like a certain amount after a short rest and entirely after a long rest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I sit up. I stand up like slowly if I'm still a little wobbly, and I tell Dahak, I'm going to go get something to eat. I'll be back soon.
Mm,
I think I'll probably check on my family while I'm at it.
He's a dead man.
All right. Zephyr, as you make your way out of camp, you pass by Jalen and Cassie.
Hey, Zephyr.
Jalen, hey, did you find anything out?
Well, apparently there is going to be a ship arriving in about a day and a half that is coming to drop off somebody, and then going to be going, from what the trader told me, which, by the way, she's going to hand him like the bundle of red silk. That they're going to be stopped by the capital, then the desert drop off, or something
Oh,
like
this
that.
is lovely. Thank you.
No problem. But yeah, so that ship that is coming in to drop off whoever it is, probably would be the best time for us to get your family out of here. And I said, day and a half.
That sounds good. I'll let them know.
I don't mean to be distracted, but I just thought of something and I hate the thought of it.
Hmm?
So the hot casted tongues on Cassie, and I'm just trying to think, how would that fit? Like, how would it work verbally? And all I could think of is that she just automatically gained the text to speech Sam voice. And whenever she wants to
John
say
Madden.
something,
John Madden.
it just,
John Madden.
hello, thank you. Just like she's sitting there looking blankly and you just hear it.
She just becomes Fee from Skyward Sword.
Or Zentrea.
Ayu.
Ayo, 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 ayo. John Madden. Anyway.
So yeah, you guys are standing there, you're receiving the silk. All of a sudden, you guys hear a large growl.
Oh, goody.
Cassie looks at her stomach. Poke, poke, poke,
Oh, okay.
poke.
Oh,
Oh, all right. No, yeah, food probably be a good idea. I thought something was about to like, attack us.
She asks if there's a Todd Howard's anywhere.
Oh, God.
not in Toboro from what I've seen.
Oh, could really go for some shish kebabs. She deflates.
Well, maybe they have some where my parents are staying.
Where are your parents staying? He lights up.
Your parents, it's your mom and your sister.
Yeah, your family.
My family. Well, let's go there now. And
Well, you two go do that. I'm gonna go see the Hawk real quick. Let him know. Should we give them a nod, then head off back towards the camp? Well, fully into the camp.
All right. Zephyr and Cassie, you guys arrive at the inn. First, Cassie kind of stops outside the inn and looks up at the door. And then looks at you, and then looks at the door.
She looked at me, then I looked at her.
No in?
I opened the door for her and let her go in first.
She narrows her gaze at you and carefully walks by. As you walk in, allowing her to go first, you can see your mom and your sister at a table. Your mom's just kind of staring at you. And doing like
Mom
that.
got a new girlfriend.
Aww. Exactly.
Oh.
I think Merrick missed the joke we made at his expense anyway.
That happened a lot last session too, except it was to May.
Oh.
May was trying to hold her hand. But yeah, you see your sister, she's got like 6 different bread samples in front of her on a plate. And she just keeps taking turns trying to build sandwiches out of them. Meanwhile, your
Bless
mom
this
is
little
just
girl.
reading the flyers that were on the wall and drinking some brown water.
Sorry, drinking some what?
Brown water, coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
All right, I'll find Cassie somewhere to sit, and I head over to whoever's running the bar. Do you have any sort of shish kebabs?
Sure do, sir. What kind of shish kebabs would you like? More ale. Fat guy wakes up briefly.
Oh my god.
And just
Shut up, Grogus.
she acknowledges it and turns back to you. What kind did you want?
Chicken is fine, I think.
Gives you a nod. Walks toward the kitchen.
Roast chicken.
Shuffles back to the kitchen. You just see this giant fucking man laying back on his own fat, snoring. You can see the crushed bits of the stool he was sitting on all night underneath his ass.
Oh, May had to help make dinner apparently.
Ah.
So it says they gotta go.
Good. Well planned. Yes, she's going to Cavs. Well, after you sit down with your mother, and Cassie comes over and grab a chair for her, and she watches you as you bring the chair over for her. We're out of Kavzar for a few days, and you're already in love. Your mom wipes away a fake tear.
Mother.
Unfortunately, Cassie, with the use of tongues, can understand everything.
Yep.
She just kind of looks back and forth at you two, and looks at the small child playing with the bread.
The bread's exciting.
I swear it isn't like that.
Cassie just looks at your mother and asks as the entire group sleep around. Mother just kind of looks to you for confirmation.
Wow.
Oh God, I'm too drunk for this.
Shouldn't have had the tequila then. Your mom just uncorks bottle. Back. Old lady comes over with your shish kebabs. Cassie looks at them and says, "These aren't rat."
Oh, right. Todd Howard serves rat kebabs.
Who fucking cares? You can eat what's there.
To be fair, I didn't think they had any.
Yeah. Also, it's weird that she's had any interaction with Todd Howard anyway. I do not believe that man would have been anywhere outside of Kabzar. There's
Then
no way there's a chain of him.
then you underestimate my writing.
You underestimate my power.
Is he a traveling merchant?
You go to the capital city, on every corner there's just a Todd Howard burger chain.
They serve just rat.
Rat patties, rat burgers, rat steaks,
Ratatouille.
rat salad bowls.
Moving on.
Cassie sniffs it. She tries it anyway. Pigeon. Oh God, no! The AI voice thing's in my head again. She takes a bite. Munch, munch, munch. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of explain the situation to my mom.
Which part of it?
Well, that we just met Cassie last night, and her situation.
Oh, and that's why the hawk didn't come back last night. You see
And
her happy and deflate a little bit.
And Jalen has some good news. There's a boat arriving in about a day and a half that should be heading to the capital.
And then the desert. Or
And
desert
then to Tarantio.
That's a long ride. I don't know if your sister is seaworthy. He just looks over at her making a tower out of the different flavors of bread. But we could see should get anyone some sea legs, right?
I'd say so. Astrid, are you looking forward to riding on a boat?
Everybody look at me, because I'm going on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
She's completely mesmerized by her stack of bread. For context, Jalen, all the breads have different flavors. Like they're stuffed with things.
Oh no, I kind of figured that's why also to be a sample, like different sample of bread.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. It just sounded like she was playing with like slices of bread.
No, there's different kinds of bread.
All right.
Crazy person. What the hell is going on outside?
I don't know. There's smoke everywhere.
For you, unfortunately. For us, there's less smoke.
Yeah, I saw pictures of downtown Manhattan. Good lord.
I just heard sirens and shit. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, you sit down. You explain the situation. She tells you that she asks if you're coming with her. You don't plan to go back to Kavzar, do you?
Do I want to tell them?
As she waits for your answer, you see her lean back and cross her arms, staring at you, and she begins tapping her finger.
Stern mother look.
No. God, no. I hope we're not going back to Kavzar.
You hope?
Mom, please. I'm trying.
We uprooted our life to leave. You're not going back to Kavzar. I will drag you to Grandma's if I have to.
No, I said I hope. I said I hope we're out of character. I said I hope we're not.
Oh, that was out of character.
If you're being out of character, since you seem to more or less dropped your accent voice, you should clarify.
Please.
No, I mean, I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if I was cutting out or not.
No, we heard you.
So yeah, she's just like, well, are you gonna go or what?
No, I'm not going back to Kavzar. But I'm not certain. I'm not certain what. Can't find. Sorry, I can't find the right words.
You're not sure what you're doing next.
Yeah. You don't know what the rest of us are doing is probably the best way to phrase it.
No, I'm not going back to Kavzar, but I don't know what the rest of the group has planned.
She sighs. Oh, at least take care of yourself. And there better be grandchildren when you visit.
Wow.
Yes, we shall see. And you have my word that I'll write as often as I can.
I'd appreciate that. She kind of drops the sternness and just gets a bit more somber as she takes a sip of her water.
Brown.
Dirty bean juice.
It's brown, suck it down.
Ugh.
Jalen, you go back to the tent group. Erda and Dahak are still in the tent. I imagine Dahak would be wrapping up at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have been finished my spells by then. Probably before the discussion with Cassie and him and all that. Anyway. He looks up and nods in greeting.
Here,
So
catch.
how did it?
You could toss over a bundle of gold silk.
Oh. Thank you.
No problem. I bought it from the merchant who gave me the information I was looking for. Just as a little thank you.
He nods. How did that go?
Well, it seems like there is a boat arriving about a day and a half, bringing somebody here. Then after that, they're going to go back to the capital, then the desert. I can't remember if it was in that order. It was desert and then capital, but either way, there's a boat that's coming, that's going away from Kavzar in a day and a half.
He nods.
No doubt that's the boat with our prospective escort on it, yes?
Given the timing of it, I would assume so.
Gerda takes a sigh. I'm not sure what to do about him.
Dalen shrugs. I don't know what to say about that one either.
Well, with the chaos in town, it might be a better idea to try and sneak him out rather than killing the guard that's after him. Especially considering when we left, the guard were nowhere in sight. I doubt they've fared any better considering that note that old idiot at the counter had.
Fair. Sorry, what did it say again? The entire town guard was on vacation?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Out Garth on vacation.
Yep.
I'd buy it. Although I can't help but wonder if that situation changed at all
I
with
would be
this
surprised if the guard got
morning's noon.
entirely replaced with pawns.
He shrugs. We won't know until we actually go back into the town.
Hmm. Now, May seemed pretty set on not stepping foot back there.
She did.
And what are we going to do with Cassie?
Presumably help her charter a boat back as well. He shrugs. At the very least, we're stopping at the capital first from the sounds of it. There's probably going to be some boat or other that we can get her on there, or perhaps a caravan. Something.
I think she noted walking here. So a caravan might be a better choice.
That does make Jalen. I'm going to pipe up then. Because the merchant did mention that there was another, like, wagon trail, wagon caravan, whatever it was, going north through the mountains.
What direction is our homeland from here?
West. West.
And we would probably be more likely to find a caravan that's going in that general direction at the capital.
No. The only way to reach the capital is either taking land east a long way around, like 900 miles, or boat.
So, what's the best way to get Cassie back from Tobro?
She probably followed the southern, southwestern coast all the way here. So heading back southwest would probably be her best way to head west. Unless she actually went over the mountains, but she's not here to ask. Either way, she does have to go over the mountains, just more south rather than north. And either way, it's a hell of a walk.
Yeah, no shit.
Why would there be a caravan going north? Or to ask questioningly.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I was just glad that I got information I needed for Zephyr's family.
She shrugs. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume you knew. It's curious. There's not really
No,
anything up north.
no, that's a fair question to ask. I just really didn't. I didn't bother asking. My bad.
She gives you a nod and stands up, dusting herself off. So, what's our heading then, Dahak?
Well, I was going to wait to see how long it took me to get back. Presumably she would have around now, but considering her player isn't, I suppose we'll just say,
Oh,
Wait, nope.
finish it.
I just heard the
Oh.
bar.
I have returned. I'm finished eating.
Oh boy!
Rice
That
took
was,
you long enough.
that was fantastic
Sorry.
timing.
Yep.
We were just talking about you.
Talking shit, are we?
You arrive back at the camp after having sent your letter with 2 questionable individuals.
Nice.
Erda is on her way out of the tent as you arrive.
Erda is.
I wave at Erda and then head on in.
And just seeing that you're back, she shrugs and comes back into the tent.
Hey, mate.
Hello. I took
Uh,
care of my business.
well,
Good.
cleaned up afterwards.
I just stare at I just stare at them.
Sorry, that was a joke. But well, I just told the Hawk and Erda. It seems like we have a way for Zephyr's family to get back home, to get to the desert. Boat arriving in a day and a half, with who it looks like the group is coming here to get anyway.
So we have time to kill then.
We do, regardless of whether we decide to try and spirit her husband out of Kabzar or not. We've got a couple days downtime, roughly. Well, the boat will be here in a day and a half, but I'm sure it won't be leaving the same day. Need to restock and all that.
Should we take a day to restock then?
Restock what? Oh, right.
Our rations,
Supplies,
ropes, supplies, stuff. Things that we would think that we would need for, our travels.
Traveling back to Kavzar.
So the consensus is we're going back.
Well, we still need to talk to Zephyr about that. I was just waiting back here at the tent for you to get back.
And our noble lady that's in our company, the one who's married to the prisoner that we were originally supposed to transport.
Erda is
Erda?
here.
He's right
Yeah,
there.
like, what's the
You passed her,
consensus
and then
about?
she went back into the tent when she saw you coming.
Okay. What's the consensus about us murdering the guard captain that was crushed, that had a crush on her and imprisoned her husband?
When was it established that the guard captain had a crush on Erda?
When she confided in us about the whole prisoner being her husband thing.
Yeah.
There was this whole, centrifuge thing.
He was framed. Hold on. So,
He was framed for
remember her-
murdering her. That's all she said.
I
I could've
remember
swore that she'd said that the
I
guard
think I
captain
told
had...
you that out of character.
Well, it was in session, I remember it.
You probably shouldn't share those details. Anyway,
Don't worry about it.
yeah, no, all our party knows is that he was framed for her murder and the murder of other nobles. The crimes he's accused of have nothing to do with any sort of love triangle.
And get the fact she's very clearly still alive.
I could have swore that she sat us down and talked about this.
If she did, I don't remember.
If she sat down and talked about it, it was probably when it was just the two of you up in the tree at the end of the last session.
Lil's right. It was an after session conversation. Like, it was still within session, but at that point we were wrapping up and everyone else dipped out of the call and we kept going.
No, I don't remember that. I remember Tog
Remember
talking
that.
about it before too.
I've talked about the crimes and such. Like,
Either way,
you're just right. You're misremembering order of events. I've talked about the crime. I haven't talked about the guard captain having a crush
When
on
we
her.
asked her why she
Stop.
wants the captain to get, killed, she talked about the whole fucking series of events, like how the guy that is the prisoner was transferred over to the capital,
I
and like that whole
Yes,
thing
she
where it's
talked
like
about that.
he
She
can
didn't
I
mention-
please can I please can I please
Sure, sorry.
like he was originally meant to be the guard captain, but once he got to the capital, he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm just gonna be a farmer instead. And like that enraged the current captain because he also wanted to just hang out, or he was passed over for the original job. And seeing as the guy that they originally chose to be the head of security in the capital, they're like, oh man, I guess he doesn't want to do his job, so I guess this job goes to you, which is what you wanted originally, but because you were passed over on it, you're just gonna hold content with the original guy.
Now, if I may, I'm going to
That
stop right
was
here.
not details any of the rest of us got. That must have been just after everybody else dipped out of the call.
Yep, that is specifically May information, and it is stuff your character does know. I
I
double
could've
checked
swore
my
that she
notes.
said this while we were
She
all in a group.
she did,
She
but she
didn't.
just told you. I just checked my notes. You are correct. It's I who was confused, and I apologize.
Okay, well, anyway, so that's
If you choose to share all of it, then that'll be information to Tog and Jalen.
Might as well, because it was her main reasoning behind wanting to murder the captain to begin with. Shit that was already brought to the party before.
Erda just sits there quiet.
he sighs. He sighs and shakes his head. Erda, what did I say about colluding? You need to tell us everything. That all is very pertinent information.
Especially seeing as there's already a faction that is already, stealthily trying to kill us. Every information all information needs to be brought onto the table.
I don't know what the two of you are planning to do after this. I assume we're not going back there. But we should be aware of what's going on.
Erda tells you that this happened before you said that. She just hasn't had time to bring it up yet.
When I mentioned it, would have been a great time to bring it up. Regardless, it doesn't really change plans that much. It just means that we should probably try and be ready to murder the guard captain at some point. Because, as I said, once the ship makes dock, it needs to restock, and that will take at least a day.
Depending on his entourage that he brings with him, I'd say that we should do it while he's on transit to Kavzar while in the forest. Home field advantage.
But then you guys
That
don't
would
get
be
paid.
You say that like we had intent to actually go and retrieve the rewards for the quest.
Our guild is in town. It is unwise to go back to town. We are going to to get your husband, and basically nothing else.
Jalen chimes in. Either way, if you guys are going back to Kavzar and after this guard captain dude, I might stick around and just keep an eye on Zephyr's family, make sure they stay safe. I want to make sure they get. I want to make sure they get somewhere safe-ish. And
I don't
someone
think
to
we've made it clear, but ultimately, at this point, I believe all of us are leaving. We are only sticking around just long enough to get her husband out of Kavzar, and that's it.
And honestly, as long as the captain's out of the way before you reach Kavzar, you don't even need to go to Kavzar.
I
So
understand.
we'll kill the guard and part ways there, Erda?
If it's all right with you guys.
The ceremony
Fine by us.
requires his presence, right? So I'm guessing if the guard captain doesn't show up and nobody alerts them of his disappearance, we'll have all the time in the world to vacate him from the premises.
I'll just tell them that there was a delay. It buys me a day or two and buys you guys a few more days.
Seeing as you're technically dead in the eyes of the capital, does your nobility also kind of transfer over out externally? Like, do the people of Kavzar know that you're dead?
Yes.
Also, as I understand it, her nobility is strictly because she married the prisoner.
What
Yeah.
I was getting at is because she's nobility, she could pass undetected. Because who's going to question a noble
I don't
except
know
for
if you've
another
been paying
noble?
I don't know if you've been paying a lot of attention, May, but they don't question much of anything. Somebody handed the dipshit at the counter a note saying the entire town guard was on vacation.
I kind of had that idea, seeing as the rats literally covered the hole, which I recall multiple people seeing outside of our group, and then they just passed it off as like nothing. You know, the basement
I
of the
don't
guild.
recall anyone outside of our group actually seeing it. The only person who was around when we were investigating it was Leah, and she was on the stairs.
I still feel like somebody would have noticed a gigantic hole.
You would think that. We were the only ones who noticed the gigantic hole specifically because we were looking for it. It's like I said, the rats are cowards, not stupid.
Mm.
Well, either way, we'll take care of the guard captain. I'll report that you guys met the boat had a delay and you're waiting for him to show up. That'll set the town back a few days. I get extra time. You get extra time to distance yourselves as far away as possible.
We had to deal with the guard captain's entourage.
Oh no, we're killing a corrupt man and his pawns.
Well, you see,
That's
that's why I
not what I'm
thought.
saying. Like, we need to find a place where we can ambush them. You know, separate them. I'm thinking he wanted to go fishing, right?
Uh-huh.
That'd be the best time to take him out. But then on the way to that fishing hole, we just snuff out his guard one by one, make it quiet.
I was literally just going to suggest you pegged him off the side of the boat as it docked.
Pegging him off with something like that kind of plan brings attention because people on boats, they're antsy. Like they're too busy trying to figure out how to keep their balance and being aware of their surroundings because they don't want to fall overboard. So if they see somebody fall with an arrow in their chest, they're going to alert.
It's not so much how antsy the people on the boat or off the boat are. The problem is the harbor is one of the biggest points of people, period. There's
Too
going to be
many
a high
eyes.
concentration of people getting off the boat, high concentration of people there to greet and otherwise deal with the boat.
As you guys are having this conversation, the Hawk, you very quickly hear footsteps approaching the tent that have a metal clang to them. This causes Erda to panic, and she immediately goes rat.
He gets up to see what's causing the clanging.
You see one of the guards from the bar. He walks over to the tent and asks, is anyone awake?
We're all awake at this point, sir. How can we help you?
You see, we just received some day-ahead news. We're looking for a fugitive in the city.
A fugitive?
Yes, sir. I have a flyer if you'd like.
He takes it.
You take it. It's a picture of Erda.
Uh-huh. And who is this fugitive?
Apparently, some runaway from the capital. Crimes are on the back. If you guys see her, we're at the inn for the next few days.
Yes, I believe we had the table next to yours the previous night. There wasn't enough room for all of us, so some of us camped out here.
Yeah, I remember. You guys had that cute little drow girl with you. Anyway, have a good one.
Why is
He
everybody
not.
thirsty for May?
Yeah, she's cute. Anyway, he nods and bids him farewell. And as he turns the thing around, says, "Do you hear that, May? You're cute."
She's not even here.
No, I'm here. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm stupid.
I'm
sorry.
in the tent.
You
in the
sure
tent.
are.
Oh,
Cassie
don't worry.
wasn't at, like, the first time Cassie even went into the inn was when she had breakfast.
Meh.
So, Erda's kind of just sitting there in the corner now, making sure that the guard is actually left before polymorphing back. And you have a wonderful flyer.
Yeah, what's on the back of it?
16 assassination counts, 2 bribery counts, 37 illegal mutation counts. It just says dead. Wanted dead.
Does there happen to be a bounty on the flyer? How much are they requesting for their Erda to be dead?
Oh, 20 gold.
Only 20?
20
You would,
gold's a fair amount of gold, man.
you would think that it would be more for multiple accounts as assassination and mutation.
Honestly, yeah.
You would think that, though.
Illegal mutations.
Like, given
Isaac,
all
what
of
would
the
you say?
chart. Actually, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that. You would think it would be more like 200 or some shit. She's extremely high profile, and that's a lot of crime.
It
I'm-
certainly means that we aren't the only ones that see this flyer too, so if Erda ever shows her face, we're probably going to attract a lot of bounty hunters.
This raises questions, though. Why is there suddenly a bounty for someone who is thought dead?
Yeah,
I
wouldn't
don't believe it mentions her name anywhere on here.
Nope.
I was about to say this flyer would literally exonerate the guy that's set to death back in Kavsar.
It would not exonerate them. The likeness is good, but the reason she is wanted dead is to tie up loose ends.
Does the paper seem like it's written in the same chicken scratch that, or not chicken, rat scratch as the Hawks flyer?
Nope. This one's written in nice royal ink with its nice waxy stamp on it. Stamp specifically from the guard captain of El Dante. Also, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but that's how it's spelled.
Just pronounce it al dente.
El dente.
El Grande.
Moving on. But yes, one, she's wanted dead to tie up loose ends. Two, as you pointed out, given the extensive list of crimes here, this lends credence to what our friend has been saying about framing. They
And
would
it's
probably be asking for much more than this for someone who's assassinated so many and done so much else.
it also puts question on her legitimacy towards what her story is. Like, it's listed here that she's done assassinations before, and she asked us to assassinate the guard captain of the Capitol, so
I did not assassinate anybody.
I mean, that's your words against a royal seal.
Now we're going to believe the royal seal.
I mean, either way, this does call it into question, so 20 insight on if I think she's telling the truth.
Is that a natural?
No, that's a 20 total. I don't tell, like, also it's a skill check, man.
I know.
You don't auto succeed on 20.
I know, but I have my own thing set for it. Like, there's not like a rule for it, but I have my own DC set for certain checks.
Okay.
And whether it's part of your bonuses or
Anyway,
not.
20 total insight is do I think she's telling the truth?
She's not lying, but she's definitely withholding.
What else is there, Erda? Put it all out on the table, or else we're just leaving and you can kill the guard captain by yourself.
She's quiet for a minute. She kind of looks down, thinking for a second. I might have tried to kill him once.
From the looks of the fire, it looks a lot more than once.
No, it was once. I tried to kill him before I got on the boat.
So, even if what you said is true, he would be aware of a suspected coup or assassination attempt as soon as he got off the boat, because he knows that you're still alive, and he knows that you fled, and he knows that your husband is the person that he's visiting in Kavzar. A higher chance of you meddling in the affair is higher now because it's getting closer to his death.
Sounds like probably offing him in the woods would be a good idea.
Yes, that was never in question. This points, like, holds up the flyer, motions to the long list of crimes, and then points to wherever the 20 gold is, does not add up.
Yeah, I
Either.
agree.
This is clearly a bunch of trumped up charges to make people not question if they should kill her or what. They just slapped a bunch of stuff on here to convince people that she needs to die and not make them ask questions as to why she's wanted dead as opposed to dead or alive.
But also doesn't chalk up enough gold so that they save money on the Endeavor.
I
Too much capital and it draws attention.
Yes, that's why I imagine the bounty is so low. Get a bunch of younger folk who don't know to ask questions about this, since the 20 gold is a pittance to anybody actually experienced.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Am I aware of the knack of having what was it, Hunter's Mark. Does it work on like illustrations of the creature?
Mm. Let me reread Hunter's Mark for that. 'Cause I'm honestly not sure. Does anybody have any other questions while I'm double checking this?
Why are you such a butt?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you asked about questions. You never said they had to be good ones.
I'm a butt because fuck you.
They'd be punching pie.
See within
I'm the
range.
butt. What are you talking about? My name has booty in it.
I'm gonna say no. Because otherwise you just have advantage against a piece of paper.
No, it's not advantage. It would be more of like not to hit the creature, but to roll survival in order to track it,
I need to give
making
them
it
a
easier
treat.
to find a quarry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I need to give them a treat 1 second. Why do you guys always do that?
I mean,
Disable
it's
these
never going to happen. It's never going to happen at a convenient time.
While you're up, might as well get yourself a drink.
That's really something you should have done before he left.
And Jack
Hey,
Daniels, got
while
it.
you're up, yep.
Cheers.
Yep. Might as well give you something to reward yourself, seeing as he got up.
I mean, I don't have to get over this. Ah! It's eating my back.
Oh no.
Nom, 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 nom.
Bad kitty.
What are you doing? You want to tell me how to kill him?
Look at him staring.
Huh? Okay. So yeah, Urda's sitting there. She's kind of quiet. She's looking down. She's focusing on the conversation pretty intently. I mean, I don't blame you guys if you don't want to help. I just thought I'd ask.
Do you guys mind if I just leave?
Why even ask?
I put my cowl up and kind of just go into the woods. I wanna discern the intended route that we would be taking back to Kavsar. If we intend to go to the fishing hole first, I want to go through that, roadway to kind of just get a look at the scenery and like the natural topography of it.
You want to get a lay of the land.
Exactly.
I mean,
because if we're going to be ambushing them, it'd be better to, know the terrain rather than just experience it firsthand right
well,
when we do it.
I mean, this is your home terrain.
I know. I may be familiar with this home terrain, but like taking a closer look to where I can put bear traps where they're in, line with like people walking, but without disturbing anyone else's, pathing. Or maybe setting up like small little foot traps here and there.
Yeah, you're plotting and planning. It's not just getting the lay of the land, which
Yeah.
Well,
the point Dylan was trying to make is you already have the lay of the land. Now you're just figuring out the best place for traps, ambushes, and the like.
so are you trying to set these along the path, but not quite on the path?
I first want to see like how long it would take to get from Tobero to the fishing hole, and then kind of like waiting until like a good distance away, like maybe in the middle, so that it wouldn't be an easy trek back for survivors to run back to Toboro.
The fishing hole is only 3 hours away.
Perfect. I set traps up 2 hours away.
I ask mainly where you're putting these traps because there's a lot of foot traffic on its way to Kavzar right now.
Right,
You,
but none towards the fishing hole, or
I wouldn't be able to tell you whether or not they were.
I'm heading towards the. I've been heading towards the fishing hole.
All right, well, that'll occupy you for a while.
Yep,
All right.
3
no
hours
problem.
at least.
So Urda just kind of looks up like we're just gonna let her go.
He shrugs and gets up. The real question is if we should leave the tent here or not.
I'll pick it up. Not that I can carry it though.
I can do that.
I mean, it's not a matter of like out of character. It's not a matter of who carries it or shit like that. It's just a question of if we should leave it here.
We probably shouldn't leave
That's
a
it.
camp out here if the rats are around. Since the rats are around, sorry. Don't want them to ransack our shit and break it.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on it.
So yeah, we start packing it up and then head back to the inn to discuss stuff with Zephyr.
All right, the hawk. Do you mind if I borrow your shoulder again?
Not, not at all.
She go rat and she don't go back.
Go rat, you don't go back.
I don't like how menacingly Queek is staring at me.
That's Gale.
That's Gale.
Speak is
Yes.
behind your head.
Mm,
Me.
Like Quick is right behind you, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He's sleeping. So yeah,
Hale
she
is atop the castle. Queek is in the castle.
they take turns. So she gets back up on your shoulder, and's picked up. Jalen's got it. Camp's settled. You guys head back to the inn.
Before, hold on.
Hmm?
Speaking of the rats, and also considering the wasting away and such, I would say we should abandon the body and heads somewhere.
Right. Kind of forgot we took those.
Same.
even though I'm not there, I did say that we set up camp next to the river, so it's like
Throw them in the river.
splash.
Want to throw them in the river?
That sounds
Yeah,
like a
mafia.
terrible idea.
Mafia style. The river's deep enough, isn't it? It's right next to the ocean.
Yeah, you could.
Or we could just go to the ocean and dump them in the ocean.
Do you know where the closest sewer entrance is?
Yes.
BRB.
I say we dump the body and bits there.
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah, probably. If we're gonna get rid of, if you guys are gonna get rid of them, I would say nightfall.
Kind of hard to dispose of a body underneath
Considering
the...
we're out of the town, I figured the closest sewer entrance would be wherever it drains out into.
I mean, we could. She points toward the side of a cliff face. A little up the bank on the river, there is a pipe about the middle of a 30-foot drop down.
Hmm.
Kind of just looking over the edge. I'm not sure you're really going to be able to finagle them in there.
Certainly fair.
I could just drop them.
Let animal eat them.
Should probably just find an out-of-the-way spot, deposit, dump it all there, and then let the animals deal with it. Yes.
All right. You find a spot. You start dumping. Erda questions if you want to throw out all of the engineer rat.
You said the engineer rat was the hardest rat to deal with. The
The
intact
heaviest.
rat body would have been the smallest.
Right. I thought you guys stated you wanted to take parts from it.
We took heads from everything that we could.
Okay. Do you want to get rid of the engineer rat's head because it has mechanisms built into it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't see why we care about those. Speaking of that, how's May doing?
May fucked off.
I'll be back in a minute.
How's May doing carrying the several uranium cores? You said there'd be
Oh.
consequences. So far, there've been no consequences for that.
Oh, there's a consequence. Very subtle at the moment.
Okay.
I have to use the restroom real quick. I'll be back.
No problem. So at the moment, yeah, no, it just seems fine. Perhaps a little edgier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it at that. You find a nice spot to dump the bodies. Shortly after you start walking away, you already hear the gulls coming.
The what?
The gulls. Seagulls.
Gulls. Okay.
Mine? Mine?
Yeah, yeah.
As you guys are, dusting your hands of that, looking out over the horizon, from this current spot, you can see a good amount of the clouds around. And it is just as it was stated earlier, there are no clouds over Kavzar at all anymore. It's sunny and bright. Morse guitar is still hanging overhead, but I mean,
Yeah, they don't have power over that.
or do they?
Oh God, I hope not.
Probably not.
Either way,
Or at least if they did, they would have made it move.
maybe they're making it sit in one spot.
What was Erda doing?
Erda is asking if there's anywhere you guys need to stop before you go to Zephyr. Are we worried that Cassie ate some piece of furniture?
We're going to the inn because that's where Zephyr and Cassie are, presumably. We need to regroup and discuss plans.
Okay.
I know the medicine man was mentioned before, but we haven't really had a reason to go to him yet.
What was the original reason to go to him?
Mm-hmm.
I do forget why he was brought up, even though I re-listened to that shit last night.
I mean,
It's like we needed him for like someone's injury or something, or to check something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was because of the aging stuff. We wanted him for input on that.
Oh yeah, insight on the like accelerated aging. That's right.
so you guys start to make your way over to the tavern. May. This might end up being the last thing you get to do today. I might as well just get over with waiting for Zephyr. You make it out to the woods. You find that all the trails are being pretty well walked. The fishing trail actually has people on it. They currently seem to be filling a large cart with fish. You also see a camping group there, a hunting group nestled nearby, and then other people are just kind of traversing the many different paths, trying to avoid as much traffic as possible. There are people everywhere.
Yay,
Hmm.
pilgrimages.
Not really the best to start setting up traps.
Taking a look at this, setting up a trap might actually be more difficult, especially if there's a large entourage with him. You have no idea how many guards will actually be making the trek at his side.
Well, it's not going to be that many, seeing as he requested members of the guild to be, accompanying him. But that also might just be trivial circumstance for the sake of having people from Kavsar bring him to the specific location.
Specifically, the quest ledger said they just needed a guide.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm back.
I'll come back.
Mm,
I'll let you do with that information what you do, and I will stop back in a second. You guys arrive at the end to find, Zephyr and Cassie sharing shish kebabs, eating chicken, and his little sister is stacking bread.
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 She's playing
That's
stacker
gotta
with
be.
bread.
That's got to be a pretty big bread tower by now. If that's all
And she,
she's
she
been
keeps
doing.
pressing it down and then stacking more and pressing it down.
I have done nothing but stack bread for the last 3 days.
Every once in a while, you see her take a small bite from it, eating several layers, and then complaining about her stomach hurting. But it's so good. Smash, smash, smash.
Flavored bread.
Ooh, ooh,
Ooh, what this?
the bread. You guys pull over. Ow. With a chair and
Pull
get
over.
comfy. Ow. I just kicked the fucking air thing on the chair and it just dropped on my foot.
Oof.
What? You guys pull over a chair. Sitting down with them. You see that Cassie has got like 17 skewers next to her. Just keeps yam. And his mom just kind of watching this intently, wondering how many she'll actually eat. Her appetite's actually got the attention of Mr. Number One, who's thoroughly impressed with her eating prowess.
Mm.
When was the last time you ate?
In 3-4 days.
Ah,
It was a long walk. There was nothing on the coast to eat.
Meh.
well, whenever we charter you something, figure something out, you should actually have decent food on the trip. Regardless.
Right. When are we going to Kavzar? Just
In
Um,
front of Zephyr's mom.
Yep.
Yeah, she wasn't a part of that conversation.
Zephyr's mom crosses arms.
Just glares at Zephyr.
Well, as we discussed while packing up, well, not while, before packing up the tent, we're not. Our friend might, but we're going to take care of some business outside of Kavzar,
And then we're going to head back here to line things up for the travels.
You swear you're not going back to Kavzar?
I'm not swearing. Zephyr can. May seems dead set on not going. I
I promise we're not stepping foot back inside the city if we can help it.
No more big rats for Zeffy. Esther just continues to stack bread.
like at that point well, I imagine he probably already would have taken a seat, but at this point he orders some breakfast because yeah, may as well eat. No reason not to.
Old woman shuffles over to take your order. And shuffles around the table to Jalen.
It's still morning, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like 9.
Egg. I was just.
like it's probably been long enough that, or very least that it's close to the tongue's spell running out. But
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, Jalen's gonna get some eggs, sausage, stuff like that, simple breakfast stuff.
All right.
yeah, you just get an omelet again,
Yeah, omelet
some
with
sort of meat omelet.
sausage.
Old woman shuffles across the floor to go get your food.
Sausage. You say old woman, my brain just goes to Emperor's New Groove at the diner.
Yeah, literally. Shuffling across the floor.
But does she have slippers?
Yes.
Mazel tov.
Excellent.
Now step on the glass. So Cassie. So no tower?
No,
No
no
tower.
tower. Tower bad.
Tower very bad.
Where pray?
Anywhere but tower.
But tower best place. Aye.
No, tower far from best place.
I imagine when we reconvene with May. There.
Rat.
Let me hold on.
The
When
rat
meet May, we talk more.
Nods. What's the plan then?
My
Sure.
plan is to make sure she get a point over to Zephyr's family. To make sure you two get somewhere safe.
Aye. In the downtime, we're going to take care of some business. But once that's done, our friend, the woman you might have noticed a few times, and us will be parting ways, and then we will most likely accompany you on the boat. We don't have any further business in Kabzar.
Take a boat to capital?
There is a boat that's coming
Yeah.
in a. Sorry, go ahead, dog.
No, that's just it. He nods. That,
Oh,
like, I think that was Cassie.
Yeah.
So when Cassie's speaking, you give as simple an answer or what have you as possible.
Cassie not all there in the head.
Well, it's not that she's not all there in the head. She just doesn't fully understand speech, whether it's draconic or common.
Oh, excuse me.
Certainly.
But what if the boat leaves?
The boat won't be leaving before we're done. As I said, Cassie, we talk more when May back.
All right, I guess on that note, May,
Mwah.
Gonna be
having
my-
re-looked over your current situation, what do you want to do?
I want to look for a area around this lake that that doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, but also has like a little bit more densely populated tree growth. You know, like using that as a fallback point to kind of choke down numbers if need be.
So, as a character, you understand this forest and its layout pretty well. There's only one spot on this lake that matches the deeper woods description, the denser woods. And that's the farthest part away from you, which is the section of the woods you don't typically traverse. If I can just pull out my map, be 100% sure, I would appreciate that.
Well, while you're pulling that up, a reminder: we were contacted to be the guide. We can lead them wherever the fuck we want, and say we're going to that side because it has the best fishing.
That is true, and I'm not to disagree with that.
That was the idea that I was gonna go with, but alright.
I'm okay with that. I just want you to be aware of it for your planning. Well, I need my map.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, the section of woods you'd be entering is part of the infamous Night Shroud Woods, which you know from when you got Tarragon. Tarragon doesn't even like to be in. There are a lot more deadlier creatures in there than your average wood.
with advanced darkness.
Mm,
You'd be taking an extra 2 hour out of your way, making it more of a 5 hour trip into the woods just to get that depth you want, secluded from people.
meh.
Meh.
Is that where you want to go?
Right on the outskirt. The idea is to just lead them through like a thicket of trees so that it sparses up their numbers. Uh, like big old dense pillars that divide a big group of like 12. Kind of like, well, what are those things? The pachinko machines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dials that you throw coins down
Yeah.
so that they land in right. Thinking of it like that, I want to generate choke points where, like, the main combat will happen outside of this forest, and if we start getting too much damage, we'll just fall back to this location, leading them through a gauntlet of traps and dense forest. Like right on this like divide between normal forest and deeper forest, like you said.
All right. So, are you going to go into the deep forest to place said trap?
On the line between them.
Okay. Uh, make a note for me. How many traps you want to make, or what you're capable of making. set that aside for my own map making process.
What would I have to roll for that? Nature, survival.
I mean, wouldn't that be based on how many traps you're capable of producing and or having?
It's based off of a skill. I don't know what skill it's based off of. Would it be survival?
That would be survival if you're making it.
Yeah.
And that would be time.
Which I'll take the time to.
Alright, so
28.
you can make as many as you feel comfortable. It takes 15 minutes per. So
I'm probably just going to be out here doing them for a while then.
alright, well, as you're doing them, I just want you to know that you certainly feel watched and you know it's coming from ahead of you in the deeper wood. You hear the loud snort. If that changes how long you stay, it does. If not, it does not. I'm just informing you.
Alright.
As you know, you'll probably be out there long enough for it to start getting dark.
I'll probably come back before it starts, getting really dark.
I'm gonna say that Erda tells you it's not likely that May will be back anytime soon. Drugs, intuition.
Drugs and weird rat.
So what are we gonna do while we're waiting? Cassie just okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away and finish brushing my teeth. What did I miss?
So May has chosen to stay out of the woods for a long period of time. Erda tells you she doesn't think she'll be back anytime soon. So she asks what you guys would like to do.
Well, there's no point in planning and we're not all here contributing. We don't actually have more information to go on. So, drugs. Suppose we can go to wherever it was that Jalen saw the rat slink into.
Sewers?
Yes, the specific sewer manhole the rat used. Make a note of that for later.
Alright. You are able to easily lead them to make a note of said manhole, just a block or two away from the inn.
Alright.
Uh, just taking a quick look at it, you can tell that this one's frequently used. It has a couple good claw marks across its edge. As if it gets picked up a lot.
Nah, that couldn't possibly be.
No, definitely not. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Anyway, that does remind me though. Did we want to do anything about looking into that meteor? It landed pretty close by.
Erda says at the worst, it probably landed somewhere up in the mountain. Maybe half a day's hike.
Is Merrick there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been back.
Okay. Like he's asked a question. The whole group went to check on the manhole. You can respond. Jalen can respond.
I mean, We could, but I'm not sure what would do about that situation.
And Cassie, having followed you guys out, is just looking down at the manhole and shaking her head. She seems very confused.
What?
I don't understand.
What, you don't understand manholes?
But where's the man attached to this hole?
It's just a term. It's actually another entrance to a system of. Well, you probably don't know what pipes are, but you know those irrigation ditches back home?
It's a hole to a stinky place.
It points at Merrick's ass.
More or less, yes.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
It takes stuff from that end and puts it elsewhere outside city.
Nod. Thinks she understands.
Spoiler, she doesn't.
But I words. Okay.
What words does Zephyr say about?
Cassie is contagious.
It's contagious.
Well, I have to agree that it probably landed somewhere up in the mountains, the meteor. But if it's half as if it's half as corruptive as bleh, if it's half as corruptive as what we've as the other stuff we've seen, it could possibly be mutating wildlife.
We technically have downtime. It was a question of whether we wanted to use it to go check that out or not.
I mean, I would be up for it if anyone else was.
Berta's indifferent. Happy to come along. So is Cassie. Meteorite edible?
Hell no.
Yeah, he shakes his head. Don't eat, don't touch.
Anything's edible as long as you're brave.
Man, I'm so glad May isn't.
Incorrect.
So glad May's what?
May isn't here. That reminds me, May. I want a stealth and I want an emphasis.
Oh,
Stealth. Stealth. Ba, 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 ba. So that's +9, so that's another 28. And emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Wait, so they both rolled 2?
No, I got 2 and then a 15 for the
Furthest from
emphasis.
10.
Furthest from 10 is 2.
May, your knowledge of the Night Shroud Woods is not very, deep. You just know, like, rumors you've heard of large, lumbering creatures. You're probably, 5 or 6 traps in. The forest on both sides of you has now gone dead quiet. You hear a large breathing, a heavy breathing. There's a smell of decay in the air. and
Oh
sulfur.
boy, May's gonna die.
Amazing.
Funny.
Sorry.
I couldn't tell if that was amazing from fucking Overwatch or just
no,
you
that's what
saying
that was.
amazing.
Sitting where you are right now, like looking about, it takes you a while to notice anything. So you start seeing a little bit of light back and forth movement that goes against the wind. And you see the tip of a very large green tail.
Mm,
You see, now would be a good time to roll knowledge.
what would
Knowledge.
that be? Nature?
Nature.
Nature attack. 18.
So you know the Night Shroud Woods is half swamp. And there's not a lot of things outside alligators in that swamp that have a tail that big. And that's
And
definitely bigger than an alligator.
and I'm guessing that's more upright than flat against the ground.
No, at the moment it's flat against the ground.
Hmm.
But that tail, from what you see about 3 feet of that tail, and it's about as thick as your leg.
And how many traps did he say I was in?
About 6 in.
That's good enough right now.
Damn, boy. They're thick.
You stand up, satisfied with your work.
Yep, and then I calmly and quietly leave this part of the forest.
As you walk away, kind of getting a good bend on your ankle. Heading back up the path. The trees thin out for a small segment. You can see with the light kind of shining in just a little bit more into that woods. It seems like there's a big round green boulder attached to that tail. Seems to have some kind of cape draped over it, maybe wings.
Flat Fuck Friday.
I told you there was things in this campaign that weren't balanced. Are you
Yeah,
heading
you
back
kind
to
of
town?
To see a Jabberwock.
Oh no. Christ, no, you're not in the Fae.
Yeah, doesn't mean we can't just randomly run into a dragon, though, which is what it sounds like this is, a green dragon of somewhat advanced age.
Probably not a green dragon, is probably more of a drake.
And whatever it is,
It
some
is a
sort of
drake.
draconic thing.
Worm, basilisk, maybe.
Wyvern.
Either way, once he started describing that, I kind of figured you doubling down on this decision was not gonna pan out.
No, this actually makes me more confident in bringing them here. Because if we lead him to this territory, we can say that the monster killed them.
We're not gonna say any. Well, actually, I guess people will see us guiding them out.
Being said, when you send me your little note, just make note that the trap you made is 6. And what 6 you make, whether it's cow trap or... I don't think you're really making a bear trap, so... If you have bear traps to place.
No, I'm not Ross.
Oh no, you don't have your makeshift potion of difficult terrain?
That's signature only to him. I do have a lot of rope, and I can do a lot of traps with ropes.
This is a great time for a tangent. That's going to be one of the best magical items you have ever created.
Potion to create difficult terrain.
Oil.
What?
It's a bottle of oil that has ball bearings, caltrop, and something else in it, and he would just throw it and then light it on fire and walk
It was
away.
It was a whole lot of like stuff from the handbooks, like inventory that you could just buy. That also said that if you toss them on the ground, it would make an area of difficult terrain. Just
Got
put
it.
into one gigantic glass bottle. oil, caltrops, ball bearings, metal pipes, fishing hooks, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
I feel like the
That-
metal pipes not so much, but probably the fishing, like that. Everything else seems like you should be reasonably able to.
No,
fit
no,
it
no,
into a
like
glass
not
bottle.
not like long metal pipes, like the caltrop, not the pitons that you nail
Okay,
tent
there you
spokes
go. You
into.
miss. All right, got it.
I later upgraded it by replacing the oil with alchemist's fire.
Oh boy.
That was
At
a
the
fun.
end, just melts all the metal shit into like this solid sheet, so you can pick it up and resell it.
Fun fact for the rule book, I think it's a +2 for each individual item on difficult terrain.
And I had like 5, so it was +10. Complete area denial to a specific area.
Yeah, once that went down, my NPCs just kind of stopped.